Good afternoon, folks. Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy stream. We've got a wild one today. So a while back, I received a donation for, quote, Enchantress with Oko. No deck list was provided. Enchantress with Oko is not a thing. So I messaged the person. I'm like, hey, can you provide me with a deck list? They said, dealer's choice. So I went to the internet, and I looked for an Enchantress deck. There was one. There was like one Enchantress deck that had placed anywhere in the past 2 months. And it was this list from Japan that had two other cards in the sideboard that weren't those Okos. So I saw this list and I went, well, I guess this is what we have to work with. And I put two Okos into the sideboard. Normally, I would have just shoved them into the main deck. But I feel like the main deck is spicy enough that our donor will be fine with this. So this is like next level Enchantress. The idea here is that if you start the game with one or multiple Leyline of the Voids in play, Serra's Sanctum becomes even more juiced than normal, allowing you to accelerate cards out earlier and taking away from some amount of beginning game acceleration that you need in order to actually start doing your stuff. So this is sort of a prison-esque Enchantress deck shoved together with a Karn tutor board. So if we take a look at what the tutor board has to offer, you have 5 different targets than normal. You have Helm for a Leyline Helm win, Mycosynth for that win, and then you have 3 utility cards, Daring Bridge, Walking Ballista, and Aethersworn Canonist. So notably, there's something that's kind of cool here. Normally, Karn is played in colorless decks, so you normally can't tutor for colored artifacts, but that's not the case here. We make a lot of different kinds of mana. Are we 4-colored? Black, blue, green, white? Yes, we are 4-colored. No red here. No Words of War or anything like that in this deck list. So, to honor the spirit of the request, Oko is in the deck list. It's in the sideboard. I think that we're going to board it in often, but I don't think I can just like shove those into the main deck and still have like a reasonable enchantment count and still keep like the crazy Karn shenanigans that are going here. To credit the builder of this, Nakagawa Natsuki, from I believe it was one of the Haruya events, top aided with this. Yeah, so there's some cool stuff in the main deck. There's 2 Shark Typhoons here, and both ends of it are pretty good. So normally in the blue-white X, like Miracles, Shark Still decks that are running around, you're primarily concerned with the cycle mode of this card. Just like cycle, create like a 4/4 flying shark end of turn. Like you had a 4/4 cantrip or something like that, and that's pretty good. But in this deck that can reasonably get to 6 mana and then vomit a bunch of stuff afterwards, this can make a lot of sharks. This also has Legacy All-Stars like Moat, The Abyss, Engineered Plague, Solitary Confinement. So we've got stuff going on. There's Emrakul in this deck too. We have it all. If there is a crazy card that you wanted to play in Enchantress, most of them are here. Now, I'm going to be the first to admit that I think this deck list is questionable, and admittedly it did come from like a 26-person event, but we're gonna click submit and play some games with this and see how it goes. I'm gonna have fun with this today, I think. Legacy League, Enchantress, got some play points for a change. Let's battle. Notably, my website is down right now, so apologies for that. Might end up playing a deck list or 2 out of order until I get it back up. Hoping to do that later today, but you know, sometimes it ends up being a day or 2 before I can sort things out. Have some exciting donations lined up. One thing that's not on the queue yet, but is on my little notebook next to me, is we have received a donation for combo goblins. So looking forward to that. MTGO user Grumpsh donated to see this list in action. So we'll see this probably mid-August at some point. I also received a donation for a mono blue martyr deck, which is, well, kind of crazy. Get donations from a lot of weird places, man. Speaking of, the Eternal Glory podcast received a very large number of donations in the past 48 hours. Aaron is a plane in D&D, and Grumsh is the orcish god of destruction. Well, that's totally badass. Um, my girlfriend is currently doing a D&D campaign in a socially distanced way with a group of our friends. She has a pet skull named Fred. She's rather fond of Fred. Generally rent or buy right now. In terms of cards, Card Hoarder lets me borrow everything. So definitely rent. Play Utopia Sprawl, put it on green. Next turn, Sarah's Sanctum and Utopia Sprawl, Enchantress, Utopia Sprawl. I think one draw will be fine to get us going. I could slow roll this, but this is really good development. I buy very few cards these days. I get enough to make sure that I can play all of the decks that I want to do with my $500 loan account. Um, and I only occasionally, oh fuck, I only occasionally need to borrow things from friends. But a bug. Still green? I take a blue here or a black. What does my basic lands look like? I do have an island. Let's just take another green. We're chaining multiple spells together in a turn. It probably involves lots of green. Yeah, so as far as things that I've had to borrow recently, Muxus is about it. Yikes. What they don't know about is this handy dandy Caracas. So we're going to slow roll this for a turn. If their exact three remaining cards are... I could just play it now, but then Spirit Guide Crop Rotation kills me. But I really don't want to play around that and give up the fact that I do have this Caracas. I would much rather them like spend some resources to try and make it so that they're less able to play around the Caracas. Leviathan, I played a lot of the Enchantress version that has Words of Wind. Like, it is really fun to leave your opponents with 0 permanents. Oh, shoot, they do know about it because of Inquisition. That Wasteland's quite good then. Let's find a way to beat it. I wonder if I'm supposed to do... this is Enchant Forest. That's awkward, isn't it? I think I'm going to go ahead and fetch another forest then. I will tap this. I will Utopia Sprawl this forest. And let's see if we can change. Oh, baby. Yes. Okay, so now we always have black because of Urborg. Let's take a blue here. Oh, interesting. No tutor, no wasteland Caracas. I have win condition now. That's great. Tap this. I think tap this. That's our only, like, singular land here. Still no activate Elvish Reclaimer, not even to just grow itself. Yeah, I mean, Elephant Grass is great. We have Ensnaring Bridge, which is also great. 3 mana? Oh. I mean, it's a green creature. That's a tri-land. Oh. Why did our opponent concede immediately after I drew Helm of Obedience? Hmm. Interesting timing. It may just be them realizing that, like, this elephant grass is there forever, and they just gave up now. But that timing was very strange. So this stays on the board as a Karn tutor target. I think these come in. I think this comes in. Now we have like 3 more ways to deal with the Merit Lodge hit play. I don't know about Veil of Summer. It's obviously fine. Heat Plague is okay, but I probably don't need it. I don't think I get to board out the Abyss. It's too cool. Trim one of those. Yeah, Veil catches Abrupt Decay and discard. We have a lot of cool tools with this hand. I'm just not sure that I'm like leaving mana open enough for that to be good. Like if we kind of look at this hand, I'm going to be tapping out a whole lot. Scarlet Ambition is even better when you consider that I have Estrid's Invocation in this deck list. God, that's so savage. We can have a turn 2 Oko or Enchantress, whichever is better. Rough. Oh my god, they didn't Ghost Quarter me? Fuck yeah! Ghost Quartering me takes me down 1 mana. It seemed like the main deck was already spicy enough to not shove Oko into the main deck. Aww. Also, you could have left Ghost Quarter up. This is gonna be real good with this. Like, holy crap. I'm a little soft to instant speed Merit Lodge. I can eat a food. About the best that I've got going for me to stop Merit Lodge. I mean, Esther's Invocation is a sweet snowball card. Karn 4 Ensnaring Bridge. This is a weird turn, because I can choose to play around crop rotation. Like, crop rotation, say, sacrifice Bayou, get Thespian Stage, makes a Merit Lodge immediately. Or I can choose to not play around that and almost certainly win the game. If they don't have it. Hmm, this is weird. I could just use this turn to eat a food, and if my opponent makes a Merit Lodge, I stay alive, and then I Trial of Ambition their idiot away. Unless they see the line of Utopia Sprawl this forest, then that actually... no, it doesn't. I get another land out of it. I think I'm going to choose to play around crop rotation. Yeah, but I'm going to get one land to replace the forest that I lose. So, like, I get knocked off mana, but it's not death. Hmm. So I don't want to minus and get the bridge. I want to minus and get something else and leave the bridge in the board. This can't be Abrupt Decayed, but I don't want my discard to get taken. We'll take a Helm right now. I guess awkwardly, if they make the Merit Lodge, they can kill Karn, but then I have two different answers to Karn in hand. This is a weird game. Going at me, not taking out Karn. I don't think I play a bridge this turn. I just take out both of their creatures. Our opponent was just like not interested in playing Magic that game, apparently. Keep. Keep. Keep, keep. This is a game where we're just looking to be like a linear Leyline Karn combo deck. Yes, it is unclear whether we have enough Karns. That's for sure. He's about a 19 remaining lands. Oh. Yeah, we can play that. Copy a Utopia Sprawl for the short term. I really don't want to get a drop, but here we are. Like if this gets countered and we get wastelanded, for example, I get set back pretty far. Opponent also has a Force of Will in their hand. Now that we've seen Snapcaster Mage, we can be slightly less concerned about getting wastelanded. It just has to do with how many of those packs were opened, essentially. A lot of things from supplementary sets end up being stupid expensive because not enough of the product is opened. Occasionally, things on Magic Online are incredibly expensive due to. Oh, we got them to pitch an Uro. That's good. Um, Due to them only being offered in treasure chests. Muxus is probably the best example of that. Sooner or later, my spells are going to start sticking. Yes, Allosaurus Shepherd is another great example of that. Sure. Mm, Ballista? Seems kind of like finding something to distract this Teferi is pretty good. Yeah, Canonist being tutorable for game one scenarios is pretty hilarious. Although admittedly, most of the time where Canonist is good, like the Karn being in play is already like an absolute kick in the teeth. Enchantress? Seems like it's Enchantress time. Yeah, most of the time when you're playing against like Storm decks loosely defined, Karn shutting off all of their artifact mana is enough of a kick in the teeth that you usually win. But like every once in a while you will run into something like, oh, I don't know, even the bonus round Storm is like still a little soft to Karn. Hey, Fine and Andy, welcome. Okay, we got an Oko for our troubles. That's fine. This is casting this for one good. Makes future like Baleful Strix and stuff worse if I just like put that in play. I now wish I had tapped leaving open this white so I could just like tutor an Aethersworn Canonist to play a 2/2. But I liked how I was tapping, assuming that my spell actually resolves, like leaving green green so that I can actually string some things together. I'm just going to throw a Mycosynth Lattice into my hand and just play a Walking Ballista. I'm also really surprised that my opponent is running both Cling to Dust and Uro in the same deck list. It seems like those are fighting over resources. Actually, I think I was supposed to get Helm last turn so that I could play Helm and then turn it into a creature to attack with it. That's an incredible top deck. Guess I'm just cycling during their turn. My hand's just awkward. I just have a lot of fat right now and the wrong colors. These. Alright, so I need a black source out of this. Probably safe to get Bayou against this deck. Get Helm, play Helm is pretty good. Then next turn I can play Karn plus Karn, but then if I rip a land, I can't just Lattice win. I kind of don't want to do that. Am I just gonna pass? I could just like minus Karn, get Helm, play new Karn. That's probably fine. Leave this one at high loyalty? Question mark. Probably just leave this one at high loyalty. This is a weird game of Magic. Hmm. Oh, come on. Uro is only life gain plus card draw plus board stabilization plus a threat that's larger than lightning bolt based removal that's also recursive plus ramp. So it doesn't do everything. It doesn't combo kill. It's a very good card. Okay, now I get to start tossing haymakers, and when one sticks, I win the game. Alright, now do I get Aethersworn Canonist, or do I just kill the Snapcaster Mage? I think I just kill the Snapcaster Mage so I can't get Teferi bounced. Unfortunately, I don't have a Tormod's Crypt, so I can't recycle this Helm. Definitely put opponent into a weird spot, that's for sure. We must go deeper. I need to answer both this Canonist and the Mycosynth Lattice that I'm about to play. Alright. Did you plan for me having Sarah Sanctum? Oh. Okay. We just play an Elephant Grass at this point to help protect this Karn's loyalty. You get back the Mycosynth Lattice again. It's in exile. That's hilarious. Better than Ensnaring Bridge? That's probably better than Ensnaring Bridge. Also, I believe my opponent has done 17 damage to themselves. That's unfortunate. Donna Man M, thank you very much for following. All. That's certainly not bad. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. Assuming I do it in this order. 11 if I do it the other way. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can I not count? Oh shoot, that's an Abundant Growth, not a Utopia Sprawl. Oops. Yeah, I'm fine with them Okoing it. I just don't want them to attack me for 8 next turn. I just need to get an Enchantress and then win via solitary confinement. Also, like, they're at 3. I would have just played the Abyss, though, if I realized that I had done my mana count wrong. Feels like you attack and then do that. You have to pay for all of those. This isn't free. We're getting there. We can win with this. Probably. And now, because I can spend mana as if it's mana of any color, also play a ley line. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. Yeah, I have 11 mana, I believe, if I let Elephant Grass go. Also, we can probably just like deck our opponent. That's becoming like very real as well. I wonder if opponent realizes that yet. You have to pay for those. Oh no, you just abrupt decayed, that's right. Hmm. I need to bounce Uro. Let's go ahead and do that. Guess I'll play a land, hard cast a Leyline of the Void. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 towards Emrakul. Play Solitary Confinement as Fog next turn. Opponent has 8 cards in library. Actually, I don't get to Solitary Confinement as Fog because of Teferi. Holy hell. That's real good. Assuming it resolves. I believe my opponent has used 3 of the 4 Force of Wills. He could have like a Snapcaster or something though. Oh, hell yeah. Now I just cast this as Fog and make them use their Teferi. The other thing I can do is just discard my Emrakul and put all this gas back into my library. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. One short of Emrakul. Nice. I have to do infinite turns instead because of my abyss. Hmm. No, I don't do it again, right? 1 mana short this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Uh, sucks. Abyss is a traitor. Damn you, Abyss. Um, bring in some Okos. Think this stays in for Snake or Elk. I don't know that I bring in a second. Veil's pretty good. No, I have multiple different combo kills, right? I don't think time's going to be that bad. I think my opponent is just as likely to time out as I am. Oops, that's 62. Actually, let's assume that solitary confinement is too awkward versus abrupt decay. I also get to F6 through all of my opponent's turns, and they don't get to F6 through mine. They also are going to take more game actions than I do in most turns. I think I'm okay. I just don't get to spend time thinking. Maybe for F6 reasons, I should also have boarded out Veil of Summer, or not boarded in Veil of Summer, rather. Alright, one Ice Fang Coatl down. I don't need a stop during my opponent's upkeep. Okay. That's a nuisance. Oh, nice, Oko. Just play it. Play Omen of the Sea and then play it? Oh no, I don't have that much blue. Just play it. That's okay. Like, all we need to do is keep making land drops, right? I can't get a blue source with that. It's a nuisance. Yeah, next turn, if they don't play a Planeswalker, I think I just make a 4/4 Shark. Um, that's interesting. 4/4 Shark? 4/4 Shark. Five Shark. Just like that, they're at 2. Yeah, so we might have won this game in like a minute and 30 seconds. Just for those of you worried about clock. This can be awkward, but I'm still doing it. Fucking lol. I'm going to F6 rather than try. Hmm. That's a nuisance. Alright, I very easily win this one with more time, but I time out here. That's okay. GG's. This is great. I will take my upkeep stop back now, though. Just more comfortable having it. I mean, if you're curious why people get like really frustrated at the snow deck, the first game of that match is a great example of that, where our opponent was able to answer basically an unceasing stream of cards relatively easily. Between like Oko, Uro, Library, the opponent had a lot going on that let them dig through all the stuff that I had to offer. All right. All right, we have an interesting assortment of cards now. I don't really know what my opponent's doing yet. Like if my opponent was doing snow stuff, they might have like gotten a basic for one of those two. I don't know. I guess I only fetched one. Yeah. Have a good afternoon. Okay. Yeah, Loam by it. It looks like Loam now. I concur. I wonder how many outs my opponent has to a moat. My guess is one? One Blast Zone? Assassin's Trophy isn't common anymore. Um, Maybe they have a Planeswalker Ultimate that could beat a moat. Last Hope, nope. Oko, nope. Kaya? Karn? Or just play Helm? Let's put the Karn in play. Let's threaten the old Mycosynth Lattice kill. at any time. Opponent's done with me. That's fair. Okos seem good. Back to basics is probably fine. Brazen Borrower is not crazy. I don't know that I love Solitary Confinement against the like Abrupt Decay decks. Not quite as safe as you would like it to be. I lean towards taking that out. I'm unsure about Engineered Plague. It's not bad, but it's not great. I also only have 10 1-drops, so Chalice doesn't hit me quite as hard as you might expect it would. Do I need this Emrakul? I wonder if I need this Emrakul. Seems like it makes some weird fringe situations that can happen easier to get through. I think I'll keep it. Just cut trim one Omen of the Sea or one Shark Typhoon. Um, I'm like so hyper dead to a wasteland with this hand that I should probably just pitch it. Yikes. We're not ready for that yet. And then it's one of a like Oko or Abundant Growth. I think I want Abundant Growth more than Oko. Could pitch the Decay. Like, my opponent has so many good starting plays that I might need to answer. Pitch Oko. Green Zone for Dryad Arbor. It appears so. Play Abundant Growth here so I can have access to green-black on turn 2 if I have to Abrupt Decay something that my opponent plays. I'm hoping to not. I'm hoping to feel safe enough that I can play Enchantress on 2. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't think I want to get this Savannah wastelanded off of Night. I need to make it to the point where I get this Abyss in play, and that will do a lot of work. Please not Teague. Feels like a green sun because it's taking a while to pay costs. That's good. All right, I have like very, very impactful 4 mana haymakers, but I'm also like very susceptible to wasteland. I'll say the same thing that I said last turn, but I'm not going to repeat it. But you know in your heart. We have 18 more turns. Opponent opting not to untap their Dryad Arbor. One more. Yeah, it does seem like Maze is perhaps not the best here. I don't know that playing Elephant Grass is actually like good. I don't want to pay for it. And I don't really want to try to stop Dryad Arbor damage. I think I'm just going to discard an Enchantress here. Alright, give me a land for this moat. That'll do. Oh no. I've already used the Savannah. Shoot. Alright. So I will get Forest Swamp instead. This is very awkward. This or Karn get Bridge. Karn get bridge is like answered by abrupt decay quite handily, but maybe they attack Karn with Uro. Try the Abyss. I don't know. Maybe the Abyss doesn't work. They just like play one more creature, then my plans are foiled. I don't know if they don't have a second creature. Abyss works. They have 4 cards, like 5/6 after Uro attack trigger. Maybe it's Karn and hope that they attack Karn. Maybe that's the better line. Another line could have been just play Leyline of the Void and try to spike Helm, but that's a one of, so that seems loose. So we just want to draw a land next turn. Oh, depends on what they do with this. Please kill Karn. Okay, we bought a turn by playing the Karn. We want to find like 1 mana green thing that will filter mana into white for Moat. Wrong play. I will admit I've done that myself a few times. Sarah Sanctum is also a real hot rip. This point, play bridge. Make them answer it. I think so. I think they have an abrupt decay. They've been holding a lot of cards. Just like kind of one of those things that makes sense for them to have. Oh, it's countered by Chalice of the... Oh. It's okay. I have Moat next turn. Again, opponent should not have many answers to a Moat. Oh shit, that Blast Zone is insane. I don't know if they know it's insane, but it takes me off of white for Moat. How many counters can they put on this turn? So it's 2 to put on a counter, right? So 1, 2, they can put 3 counters on it and crack it on their turn so Moat doesn't save me. Oh, Blast Zone's unfortunate. I mean, that's the card that's going to beat the Moat. Beat Elephant Grass already. They beat Elephant Grass plus Moat already. They beat Abyss already. Beat Abyss plus Elephant Grass already. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking of that I can draw. All right, we'll try again. Man, I wish I would have realized that we did not have a fetchable white source for Moat. Not that there was much as I could do, because I wasn't really casting very many spells there, but it was definitely something that I should have thought about that I didn't think about. Oh yeah, 2 was very right in the spot that my opponent was in. But in a vacuum, against a traditional Enchantress deck, I think Chalice and 1 is correct more often because the traditional Enchantress deck also has like DMC3 things that draw cards and also like Green Sun that lets them sneak this into play. Oh holy hell, that's potentially very good. Don't think my opponent played around that last game. I don't remember. Yeah. Allison 1. Yep. Solves. They had the Abrupt Decay for it. That's okay. I mean, my lines here are just disgusting. I have a draw mana and a 6 loyalty planeswalker in play. To my opponent's nothing. I have 2 different removal spells, 2 different draw spells, and a planeswalker ability. No artifact hate in the sideboard. I think I'm going to take a couple of draws and then decide what I want to do. And just play Abyss for mana efficiency. And tutor something with Karn. Targets, right? Yeah, this targets, so I can't get my Shroud creature. Look, man, I just copied the Japanese list from the internet. I didn't change it other than shoving Oko into the sideboard. I maybe should have just picked up Lattice there. In case I spike a land. I guess if I spike a land, I just Karn minus anyway. All non-black. Or non-artifact, rather. No, we're playing against Loam. Does this win if I Mycosynth Lattice now? At the beginning of their upkeep, they destroy this. Karn goes down to 1 loyalty, then I Abrupt Decay that. It appears that that just wins. Uh, unless my opponent has something like Force of Vigor. And there's the concession. Very nice. Very nice. I wonder if this deck is actually, like, good. We'll find out. Alright, I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I will be right back. Alright, sorry about the delay, but we're back in it now. Doesn't Lattice stop Abyss? Hold on, let's see. Destroy target non-artifact creature. Huh. So, opponent wasn't dead there? They just go to their turn and then they attack my Karn and kill it? Oh my god. Well, having never played Lattice and Abyss in the same deck before, that was certainly not something that I was thinking about. But now we know for future rounds. Boy, that would have been embarrassing. Yeah, I would have missed that 100% of the time. The Utopia Sprawls are like really weird in this deck because like normally with Enchantress you want to name green, but this is a 4-color deck, so like sometimes it's not correct to just name green with Utopia Sprawl. Um, Definitely struggling with what to name with that a little bit. Yeah, this is the Japanese list, except I changed two sideboard cards for Okos because, well, donation. Oh yeah, we are. What the hell is this? Add 7 red. You can only play one more spell this turn. Pretty badass. Got goblins. You got a Charbelcher. Oh, wait. No. Do it. Do it. Kill me. Negative 32. Alright. Notably, opponent has Echo. About all that's notable. The rest of the stuff looks pretty stock. Yeah, that card seems real good. Alright. Canonist in. This in. Fail do anything? Not against Belcher. Not against Goblins. Not really against Echo. Engineered Plague is great. We got belched. I was at negative 32 life. Turns out if you fire goblins at someone's face fast enough, they just die. Who'da thunk? Brazen Borrower or like Oko is not insane if I need to like change some things around a little bit. The ley lines are going to be like hilarious if my opponent keeps an Echo based hand. Abyss does not seem good. That can go. Shark Typhoon seems pretty slow. That can go. Um, Brazen Borrower to bounce something is probably better than the other Shark Typhoon. Oat, Elephant Grass, Engineered Plague are all really good against goblins, as is Doomwake. We can, we can maybe get game 2. I don't know about game 3. This fine? It stops an Echo-based hand, but like my hand. Well, it also kind of stops a goblin-based hand, doesn't it? For a little while. Uh, uh, I don't know that this hand is good enough, even though it has a ley line. Like I can't do anything else while I'm. Uh, Maybe this is good enough to keep. This one's borderline. Yeah, Emrakul also not great. Like any of my top end stuff isn't going to be great. Possible like boarding in an Oko over an Emrakul is optimal for the next game. This has been a really interesting league. Mm-hmm. I just got an LED out of that. which is, I don't know if good. Please don't belch me. I can buy some time versus goblins. The Charbelcher. It's in play. That would have been a great turn for Karn. Karn's great. I guess Abrupt Decay doesn't do it anymore. Even like Force of Negation to just counter a ritual is probably pretty good. Now we have two Doomwake Giants. Well, we got this whole goblin thing, like, real covered. I am going to cast this because it represents more mana via Serra Sanctum in future turns. I'm going to do the whole fetch to thin thing here. It's like super marginal, but like my draws matter so much here. I currently have no redraws on board. Alright, we have to dodge for one more turn. Now I don't play these in case they like play a Tinder Wall out to block or something. I have two enchantments to kill them, to kill the incoming creature with. Nice! We won on turn 7 versus Belcher. Alright. So, Leyline was apparently very good against that hand. Go an Emrakul out for an Oko. And that's probably good. This hand does nothing. I will mulligan it. Yes, SCK, that's the gist of it. They're sort of a glass cannon all-in combo deck. They have very few ways to come back from interaction. They try to go for it on like turn 1 or 2 most of the time. And if they miss, they accept their death and move on. There are some Belcher games that can become pretty interesting, where there is some back and forth, but most of the time it's like, do you have it? No, I win. Do you have it? Yes, I lose. No, questions mean that you're learning. Questions are good. I think I am going to accept Aethersworn Canonist on turn 2. The game on the draw is hard. I don't think I can just mulligan 2 Leyline. Unfortunately, they kept an Echo-based hand. Mulling the Leyline would have been good. Please discard the LED. Alright, so they're looking at a fresh 7. Still have a turn 2 Aethersworn Canonist. But I might just be dead. I have outs to goblins. Gamble can find LED and kill this turn if they don't discard the LED. They did not discard the LED. Unfortunate. Now the Taiga's out of their deck, so this is a guaranteed kill. Alright. Would have been better off mulliganing. But you never know. I don't know if I'm supposed to throw away the hand that has, like, a card that handily beats them that I can play on turn 2. When they've already mulliganed once. Maybe I am. But like there's so many hands where they just like make goblins or put Belcher in play where the ley line is embarrassing. So I don't regret the keep. Hand's great. I have turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, turn 2 Enchantress, turn 3 Engineered Plague or Karn, depending on which one looks better. I'd like another basic land if we're playing against Delver. I think I just take green for stability here. It's somewhat tempting to just take black though, so that I have access to Engineered Plague mana no matter what, because that's probably good. I think I'm going to take the black. Again, I kind of think that the Utopia Sprawls are hard to use in this deck, because like we very clearly want both black and green with current board. Again, I would like to just draw another basic land. Or that can happen. This is a line that punishes me for what I did last turn. I think I played Tropical Island this turn. And play Enchantress. And then if I get Wastelanded, I lose Tropical Island instead of Serra Sanctum. Yeah, if we are playing against Delver, I am now pretty confident that we're going to get there. This is actually something like Sneak and Show, though. They're slightly more questionable. Delver. We on a Engineered Plague on Wizard turn. Probably. I think I'm going to go ahead and play this now. I don't know that I want to play this Karn into Daze. I think I just want to take another redraw here. Except 1/1 Shark? That was intentional, Skyship. That was not an error. Like, if I'm drawing cards that are relevant, I would rather cast the relevant cards over Karn this turn. I think I'll just cycle this here. Yeah. So if Engineered Plague draws me into something like a 1-mana Accelerator, I would much rather just play that over Karn in that previous turn there. Because just like churning through my deck, given this board, is going to win the game. So we tap this, and I leave colored mana floating and use the Serra Sanctum for the colorless for this card, and it gives me the greater ability to play a large number of cards in my turn cycle. Fortunately for you, friend, I have another. Do I pay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't get Karn plus Lattice this turn. So I pay. I didn't do Leyline math, or Helm math. Wonder if I could have just killed if I didn't pay. Yeah, I could have just killed if I didn't pay. If this resolves. It did. Oh, it's mana net neutral because of the Sanctum. That's a good point. Possible I wasn't supposed to get the bridge with Karn because of Lightning Bolt. And I was just supposed to, like, play the Karn, get the Helm. But again, like, we're winning by a landslide here. Another Karn! Oh, we can also just like play an Estrid's Invocation and win that way. Yeah, no need to play Karn into soft counter spells. Oh, we just also drew a Helm. Game concession time? Yeah. So let's bring in another Engineered Plague. That seems good. Uh, Probably play a couple of Okos. Back to Basics of Brews and Borrower are fine. Back to Basics is a little sketch on the draw, but I might still play it anyway. I don't know that I'm going to board in Veil. Like, it seems like I have a whole bunch of things that resolve and do, like, terrible, awful things to the game. I think I'm just attempting to trade for counterspells rather than protect my own stuff. Maybe that changes when I'm on the play and I want Veil. Like, I can see myself trimming an Emrakul. I can see myself trimming Karns. They don't immediately impact the board, which is a problem, but I still kind of like want them as another Haymaker. I don't know, maybe it's not true. Maybe I trim two of those. Maybe these Omen of the Seas aren't great, they're just kind of slow. Something approximating this seems fine. I have a relatively powerful hand. I need some stuff to resolve and I need to keep making land drops without like randomly getting stifled or something, but assuming that happens and I actually get to start casting these cards, life's pretty good. A Temperamental Delver over there. Top with Preordained. I think here I get Forest. I tap Forest to play Utopia Sprawl. I will name green with that. And now I'm going to attempt to Petty Theft this Delver back to their hand to save myself what will almost certainly be 3 damage. Great. That's uncommon. I mean, if I got 2, I will jam. Force pitching a Daze. Cool, cool. I'm gonna want to attack and kill that down so I can draw cards with Enchantress stuff later. Holy hell, this Doomwake's real good. Also, real good is the Abyss. Jam it into Daze. Make them have it. They just pitched 1 Daze. I think I'm jamming. Like, because I have Doomwake to help clean house too if this doesn't resolve. Bye, Delvers. I'll miss you. Yeah, and that's a very valid complaint about current legacy. A lot of the games are really boring for one reason or another. I've been vocal about it. I haven't been super pleased with current legacy. I will say my last 2 or 3 streams have gone much better than the like 30 streams before them. Hmm. Is your last card a Daze? Is that what you're representing here? Your last card is a Daze and you want me to like not draw land? Could be Pierce as well. Hmm. I can play Oko this turn. It plays around Daze, it doesn't play around Pierce, but if it gets Pierced, the Abyss is more likely to resolve in future turns. I can play Esther's Invocation to just get another Utopia Sprawl, and that plays around both, but then gives them time to draw into like Force of Will. Oko has resolved. A Preordain. Fine. I mean, Young Pyromancer is very good against the Abyss, but very bad against Doomwake Giant. I don't think my opponent has days. I just play Doomwake Giant right here and basically win the game. If my opponent does have days, it's disastrous. I do kind of need to do some stuff that matters. I don't really want to elk the Pyro. I'll just try to resolve this. Just days. And one of those is in exile. Yeah. So now we're just going to play an Estrid's Invocation for a second Doomwake Giant and kill their Delver. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not sorry for what's about to happen, but I'm slightly aroused by it. I technically should have left open a green there, but we're done. I copy Doomwake Giant. Yep. Got a little bit of lag there, but I got my rewards. I wonder if this deck is like actually reasonable. So like we have less card draw than traditional Enchantress by quite a bit. In that like we have a bunch of things like Karn and Helms that don't just like keep giving you redraw after redraw after redraw, but we have relatively high threat density. And some of these things that are in my deck are incredibly hard for other decks to beat. Um, it's hard to tell though because like Enchantress decks tend to be good against blue decks as a general statement. So like if we were playing a different version of Enchantress, we probably bully a lot of the same matchups anyway. You're not sure about the Shark and Emery slots. Or Sharks and Emrakul. Yeah, I gotcha. I feel like the deck wants like 2 more 1 mana accelerators because like getting to 4 mana is really important for this deck because like you have Karn, Abyss, Moat, Leylines, Helm, Shark Typhoon, which starts to become like a reasonable card at 4 mana. I think you want a couple more mana accelerators or like access to Carpet of Flowers or something. Yeah, I don't know. Like you can't really play Destiny Spinner in your like Moat Abyss deck, right? So like this deck's a slightly different beast than normal Enchantress, but I get where you're coming from. Like I think the weakest slots in the deck are the Omen of the Seas, the Shark Typhoons, and the Emrakul. But that said, like this is a really unique take, so like I don't necessarily know what I would replace them with because a lot of the cards that I would be replacing things with conflict with some of the prison elements that are present in this deck. Regardless, I enjoyed this one a lot. Thank you very much to, I believe it was Min H, for donating to see this deck list in action. This was a really fun league and a rather silly one. With that said, kind of hungry. I feel like it's snack time. I will be back tomorrow for some vintage action. I believe tomorrow morning I'm going to be playing this Painter Breach deck in vintage, and we'll see how it goes. If this is your first time here for Legacy, please consider following. I'm streaming pretty regularly. And if you're really enjoying the content, please consider donating to the stream or doing something else to support my content. Have a great rest of the day, and I'm going to turn you over to Arkin.